Hi, everyone. This is Joe Riggio with Socially Joe, episode 43. So, on this episode, I bring on my local nonprofit, and right now I have a great guest, Rick YOCUM, from the Humane Society of Manatee County. So, I just met him recently, and I always love helping the local nonprofits as well as helping anyone in especially 2020. So, I don't want to talk too much, but I'm going to introduce Rick right now. And Rick, can you introduce you a little bit and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I am the executive director of the Humane Society of Manatee County here in Bradenton. Been here since March of 2016 in my position. And basically, I've got a background in animal welfare, law enforcement, animal law enforcement background, sales and marketing background, and I was an elected official for 23 and a half years. So kind of covered every side of the base you would need to cover to be able to perform as an executive director in a nonprofit.
That's awesome. So like I said, I always like to bring on a local nonprofit and help them out, and especially 2020 has been a real big tough time for everyone. But what can you tell my listeners about the Humane Society of Manatee County?
Okay, well, very important. We are located on 14th Street in Bradenton, here in Bradenton, Florida. We operate a second chance adoption center where we adopt out cats and dogs into new homes. Most of those animals come from either the county shelter, owner surrenders, or come in as strays. And we rehabilitate them and get them into new homes. We also operate a 10,000 square foot veterinary clinic, state-of-the-art veterinary clinic, which is located directly next to our Second Chance Adoption Center. We are a no-kill shelter and have been for actually next year will be our 50th anniversary. And we've been a no-kill shelter for 50 of those 50 years. So it's a very vibrant location where we are, very busy. And we provide a full-service veterinary services in our veterinary clinic, from wellness to spay-neuter surgery, vaccines, x-ray, dentals, getting involved in dermatology and basic orthopedic surgery in the very near future. So it's a very, very busy operation we have here.
That's wonderful. So tell us about the Second Chance Adoption Program that you have.
Okay, our Second Chance Adoption Program, which is located at 2415 14th Street West, adopts out about 800 cats and dogs into new homes each and every year. Every one of those animals, prior to being adopted, have their vaccines updated. They receive the necessary medical care they need. They also are microchipped, and all of the animals that we adopt out are also spayed and neutered, sterilized, because one of our primary goals is to reduce the number of homeless animals that are in our community. And we have a lot of innovative programs in our shelter, including a sleepover program where someone can come in and meet a dog or a cat that they feel is a good fit for them. They're able to sign that animal out for 3 or 4 days, take it home, see if that animal does fit their lifestyle and gets along with everyone in their family, both two-legged and four-legged, prior to signing the adoption papers and making it permanent. It's a very good program, and our retention rate on our adoptions here in our Second Chance Adoption Program are 99.7%, which are miraculously high.
Nice. Now, I did hear that you mentioned the sleepover program, but I know that's one of the many programs that you have. So I know you already elaborated on the sleepover, but what are the other programs that you have, and if you can elaborate on them as well?
Sure. We have a what's called Senior for Senior program. So anyone who is 65 years or older can come in and adopt a senior cat or dog that is 6 years old or older, and there is no adoption fee for that adoption. That animal is placed at no cost into that home, and that's also a very popular program. We also have some behavioral staff here that work with people after an adoption if any issues arise, to make sure that, we call it a safety net. Our safety net is behavioral help for an adopter, We have a pet food pantry, which, because of the year that we've all lived through in 2020, the pet food pantry where people can come in and at no cost get pet food to allow them to keep their animals in their homes when finances are tough. We also offer low cost and no cost veterinary care when necessary in our veterinary clinic. And all of these things together, again, as a safety net to keep animals in their homes.
That's wonderful. I love it. So talk to us about the HSMC Veterinarian Clinic and what services it provides.
Okay, well, our veterinary clinic at its current location, it's been here since September of 2015. We have 2 full-time staff veterinarians. We have our wellness director, Dr. Lindsay Rowland, and we have our surgeon, Dr. Ashley Gillette. And we provide wellness exams, vaccines, also pet meds are available for sale here and on our website. And our website, by the way, is www.humanemanatee.org. We also provide dental services for cats and dogs. That includes extractions and whatever else is necessary. We have dental x-ray. We also have a standard x-ray here and provide x-ray services for animals in our community. It is a full-service veterinary clinic available to the public and open to the public by appointment. And we are basically low to moderate cost veterinary care for the community here, so that no one in our community who has a companion animal wouldn't be able to find services to help them and their animals when needed. We've got an amazingly dedicated staff here. We do about 5,000 spay-neuter surgeries a year. We do about 6,000 wellness exams, diagnostic exams a year here in the clinic, and also 3,000 heartworm tests. And we also do heartworm treatment here. So it's full service, open to the public, and it's an extremely busy veterinary clinic.
Nice. Now let me ask you this. I know you mentioned the microchip. Does the vet do the microchipping for you on that location?
Yeah, we also have veterinary technicians, and along with our vets that can do the microchipping here, yes.
Awesome. That's great. So talk to my listeners about the planned expansion of your services taking place at the veterinarian clinic.
Okay, in about 3 months' time, we are going to be in a position where we're going to be able to start offering dermatology services to people for their animals. Skin conditions and allergies are a major issue for both cats and dogs, and it can be an extremely expensive problem to have. And what we're going to be trying to do here is offer, again, low to moderate cost dermatology care. A lot of the treatment that's given for animals with allergies and skin conditions are steroid-based medications. And steroid-based medications with animals, just as with humans, over a long period of time can have an adverse impact on the health of a human or an animal, and it can actually shorten the lifespan of an animal. So we're trying to give people an option of having treatments that aren't steroid-based for their animals to relieve that animal from the itching and the suffering and the skin conditions and the loss of hair. And we're kind of excited about being able to offer that opportunity. We also do a lot of work for a lot of other local shelters and rescues, and an animal with a serious skin condition is a very difficult animal to place in an adoption. So we're going to make this service available to those folks as well, so that they'll be able to get their animals rehabilitated medically quicker and at much less cost, so these animals can get into their forever home. And following that, we're going to be, in about 9 months' time, offering basic orthopedic surgery at, again, reduced cost here. And we're able to offer our services for low to moderate or reduced costs because we do get support from donations, from individuals, from businesses, from foundations, and that's why we're able to offer people these services at such great affordable prices.
That's wonderful, and that's great news. It's just recent to hear about like the skin conditions with animals, because God rest my puppy's heart when she had to pass it many years ago. She had the skin irritation and going back and forth trying to find medication where it was in the food or something. I get where people are coming with that. So, but anyway, let's talk about the operating and essential business that you guys have seen during this whole COVID-19 pandemic, because as always, every nonprofit we talk about it has had trials and tribulations of how they survive. So tell us more about it.
Yeah, it's been, I've been around for a while, and this year has been by far one of the most challenging I've ever had in any of my careers to deal with. Immediately when this whole situation came to head back in March, I implemented, put our emergency management plan into place, which automatically reduced the capacity in our shelter by 50% by getting animals into foster homes, knowing that we were going to have, issues with staff. And also in our clinic, we reduced our operating capacity to 60% of what we would normally be doing because we reverted to curbside check-in. So people pull in our parking lot and they text a number on a sign in our parking lot. They immediately get a response from one of our medical team inside, and then they're met at their vehicle. Our veterinary technicians get the information from the owner in their vehicle and then take the animal from the vehicle into our veterinary clinic. We did this in order to lessen the contact right in the beginning. And as it turns out, that was the right decision, and we're still doing that today. We were deemed an essential business, so we've operated every single day during the pandemic that we normally would have, albeit at a reduced capacity. But people have been extremely forgiving and cooperative, and we're actually incredibly busy. The last 4, 5, 6 months have just been incredibly busy when people recognize that we were a safe place to come for both themselves and their animals. So it's been challenging for sure, but I have an extremely dedicated and compassionate staff here who have just done everything they need to do to be able to continue to provide the services to people. Our shelter switched from walk-in to appointment only for adoption appointments, and that has actually worked out amazingly well. Adoptions are up because more people are working from home. They have time to care for an animal. And look, honestly, being a nonprofit in the animal welfare world is a whole lot easier, if you will, than being a nonprofit in many other segments, because people consider their animals to be their family members and they're going to continue to provide care for them. So we've been able to operate throughout this entire adventure, and we continue to operate. We're back up to about 90% capacity in our clinic right now.
That's awesome. So let me just ask you to elaborate a little bit more, because I know you said it's by appointment only. How far in advance do people have to make the appointment? Like a day, 2, 3, or is it just like overnight?
Okay, for our veterinary clinic, when I say we're incredibly busy, that translates into about a 4-week wait for an appointment here. So at the veterinary clinic. For the adoption center, it's a matter of a day or two to be able to get an appointment to come in and meet a potential cat or dog that you want to bring into your home. But for the veterinary clinic, it's about a 4-week wait for an appointment, for a wellness appointment. Surgical appointments are booked out about 10 days in advance, so that's not quite as long of a wait. We also just started, by the way, through a foundation grant that we got. We're offering free vaccines to any senior citizen 62 years or older on the first Saturday of every month by appointment. So we're doing 30 to 40 senior citizen companion animal owners are able to come here the first Saturday of each and every month and get free vaccines for their animals. They pay an $18 exam fee, and the vaccines are then free.